Welcome back to Consumer Lab. Today we're going to talk about the Humane AI Pin. How strong is that magnetic strength? Yeah, we need to know that. Why is it important? Because if you're going to spend money on this, you don't want to attach it to the clothing and drop and fall on the floor. That's going to be crazy. And you're going to cry. Why? Because you just spend money on it. Why else would you not cry? But nevertheless, let's see. So now let's get right into it. You know, the thing is, when they say clothing, what they're really trying to say is that how close can this get to the main unit for it to still be effective? In other words, the thickness of the clothing is really dictating how far apart the booster is to the main unit. And the further apart it is, the less strength it has, which means that the more likely it will fall off your clothing. So we here today at Consumer Lab, we're going to take a look at that, right? So we all know that obviously if you put in your regular clothing, it's going to stick very good. It's not going to fall. You can run, jump around, skip, hop, whatever you want to do. Get mayonnaise, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? It's not going to come off. But, right, because the shirts are, spring shirts, spring clothing, pretty thin, it's thin enough, right? Meaning that, once again, the space between the clothing is very, very close. The closer it is, the stronger the magnetic attraction, right? And something you should know is that, like I said before, is that both of these are magnetic, right? The booster pack is a strong magnet, as well as the main unit is also magnetic. So together, it makes it very, very powerful. So this is something to think about. But how about we not make this boring today? Nah, we don't want to do that, right? So in addition to regular clothing, sweaters, and jackets, right? How about trying to attach it to things of somewhat interesting, like maybe a bulletproof vest or a solar panel. Yeah, let's try that as well. But before we get into that, there's some things you gotta be aware of with this particular device and attraction. Is can it attach to sweaters? Of course it can. But there's something you gotta be aware of, and that is the material in which it's attracted to. So you see here, this here is a sweater. This is a regular sweater, right? But the thing is, if the material that is being attached to is fuzzy like this, it's not going to attract, it's not going to have a strong enough attraction. The reason why is because magnets, just the nature of a magnet, is that the flatter the surfaces, the smoother the surfaces, the better the attraction is. So I'm just going to show you, demonstrate to you what I mean. So here's the Humane pin. I'm going to attach it to the sweater. Now, again, I'm going to attach it to the fuzzy part here, right? Put it here like this, and it's attached. Now, it's attached, but it's not going to fall right away. But if I'm running with this, it's going to fall. It comes off so easy. Look at this. Look at this. Comes off very easy. It's attached, but it's barely attached, right? So that's just something to be aware of, that if you're going to, when you buy this, or if you buy this, by the way, we're not being sponsored by Humane AI Pin at all, right? We're going to tell you the truth right here at Consumer Lab. If you're wearing clothing, a sweater, even a shirt or something that's fuzzy like this, something like that, it's not going to try. It's going to stick, but it's not going to have the strongest attraction as possible. And if you're running, jogging, maybe even, moving around a lot, it might fall off. So you have to be aware. You must connect it to smooth surfaces. So, listen, we here at Consumer Lab, we really do like the device. We've seen it in our past videos. We went over the specs of it. We talked about the quality and all that, but we're going to be honest as well, right? So again, if you're going to buy this product, make sure that when you attach to any clothing, anything, that is not fuzzy. It has to be a flat, smooth surface. And of course, it can't be too thick. With that being said, let's have some fun with this now. How about we try connecting it to a vest, a bulletproof vest. How about that one? So, of course, we have it. We have that Safe Life vest, right? It's a bulletproof vest. It's a level 3A, meaning shotguns, 9mm, 45s, all that type of thing. It's very strong. It's also stab resistant as well, so that's a good thing. Very strong, extremely thick, right? So now the question becomes, how thick is thick for this? Well, let's see if it can go withstand and attach to a vest. So we're gonna take the Humane AI Pin, and we're gonna try to attach it to the vest. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't hear that shimp type of sound, let me just show you. You hear that thump? Right, if you don't hear that, it ain't sticking. So we here, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not sticking to this vest. It's just not. I mean, realistically, really, I would think no one's gonna sit there with a bulletproof vest and attach Humane AI Pin to it. But I'm just showing you that when it's too thick, it's not gonna work, right? So just in case you wanna know how thick this vest is, this is not as accurate as it should be, but just give you an idea. So I'm gonna use my caliber, and I'm just get an idea on the thickness of it. And I'm gonna tell you now, it's about, I mean, this is pretty thick. You're talking about over probably 8-9 millimeters. So it's very thick. Of course, it's a vest. So that goes without saying. So it's not gonna stick to something like a vest. It will stick to shirts, not gonna stick to vests. How about let's say you outside, you outdoors, and you just wanna attach to something real quick because you wanna ask some questions, but you're not wearing it, whatever it may be. Keep in mind what they did with the Humane AI Pin is that they made it where you do not have to attach it to your clothing to talk. Before, you had to actually, unlock it. Keep constantly unlock it to access anything. But I'm glad they did away with that. But I mean, obviously your personal information or your personal things, you cannot access that unless you unlock it. But any generic questions you want to ask it, you can ask it without having to unlock it, which is really, really great. With that being said though, how about a solo panel? So here's the panel, and let's see, this is a big panel, by the way, really huge panel, whoa, right? And let's see what happens with this bad boy. So here's my Humane Pin, take it here, and let's see if it can work. Yes, it can work. As you can see, it will stick to a panel, right? Which is good, it's not gonna fall off. Is there a strong attraction? I mean, you can hear the sound. Maybe you can hear the sound. It's going to attract to it. Is it a strong attraction? Answer is no, it is not. Will it stick to it? Yeah. But would I leave it here and walk away from it? No, right? So I'm not going to do that. Let's see what the thickness of this is. Once again, I'm going to use my caliber and see what we got here. Let's see here. And I'm looking at, yeah, it's pretty, this is interesting, sorry. So let's see what this is. This is big. Yeah, it's pretty thick. So we're talking about maybe about 7-8 millimeters, something like that. So obviously, this ain't the way to go, right? So that's interesting. So we did the clothing. We know that it could stick to clothing pretty well, very good, right? We talked about why it is because the magnets on both sides of this unit is magnetic, right? Very strong attraction. We've seen that there's some limitations to sweaters, which is if it's fuzzy, it's not gonna work well because it's gotta be, both sides of the material have to be flat, right? Have to be smooth and flat. It will stick to it. We learned that, well, we can't do to a vest something as thick and heavy as a bulletproof vest, ain't gonna work. A solar panel, nah, it'll stick, just won't be strong enough. But when I say solar panel, I mean like outdoor thing, maybe want to attach to something outdoor, whatever it may be, or indoors for that matter. It's not gonna be as strong. Let's try, what about magazines? Let's just try magazines, right? Let's just see what that's gonna look like. So we got a couple of magazines here. We're just having some fun with it. Here's a couple of magazines. Let's see what it looks like with that. So we're gonna try one mag, right? One mag, of course. Let me get a thicker one. Let me get one like this thick, right? Attached to here. No big deal. It's gonna stay. No big deal. Let's try 2 mags. So then I got 2 mags. Let's try that. Again, no big deal. It's not gonna fall off. Let's try 3 mags. Well, this one's a little bit thicker, right? Let's see what that looks like. So now we got 3 mags. And we want to see what that look like. Yeah, we're looking to upgrade the kitchens, bathrooms, and stuff like that. Why not, right? See what that looks like. And again, it will attack. But I'm gonna tell you now, the magnetic attraction is not strong, so obviously it will fall off. Let's see what's the thickness of that. Let's put this on here. Let's get our caliber once again, and let's take a measurement. Again, this is not scientifically being done. This is about 6 millimeters. So there you go. One thing I've been noticing is that 6 millimeters, it seemed to be the limit of the attraction of the magnet. Like I said, come back another time, another video, we might actually measure the actual magnetic strength. We have equipment, obviously, to measure that because it's Consumer Lab. This is what we do, build, make, sell. But with that being said, let's try to get a little bit more of a analysis on this and how we're going to break it down, a little bit more exact numbers. Because that 6 seems to be, right? It seems to be the number that seems to be where it's, that 5, 6 millimeters seems to be where it's the most, it starts to wane off, the strength of the magnetic field. Keep in mind, when we talk about the thickness of something, when we talk about magnets, we're really not talking about so much just the thickness. We're kind of more talking about the space, right? So again, it's about the space. The thicker the material, the further this moves away. And the further away it moves, the weaker the magnetic field is, right? The field of attraction. So let's just see. I got these wood planks. Now, with these wood planks, I use these to make stuff and do designs and all that. And we build things with this as well. But I'm going to see, these are pretty accurate, and they are all about 1 point something millimeters. Again, they're not exactly precise, but it gives us an idea. So this one here is like 1.94, right? So they're pretty precise, but we don't measure them all together. Doesn't matter, right? So let's do one panel. This is one wood panel, and let's see what that looks like. So with this one wood panel, again, make sure when you align your Humane pin with the battery booster, it's aligned properly. If it does not align properly, it will fall off. Just saying. All right, so again, boom, nice. 1 pint is good. So basically this is about 2 millimeters, about 1.96 millimeters. So you know right away if your clothing is this thick, it's no big deal, no problem. Obviously, it's springtime. Your clothes is probably not even this thick, right? I'm just being honest with you, right? So let's see. Let's try another wood plaque. We got another wood plaque. See what that looks like. So we got 2 together. We got 2 plaques. We're gonna put them together, and we're gonna see what this looks like. Again, making sure that I have the battery pack aligned with the main unit, all right? And see what that looks like. And there you go. Again, this is good. It's not falling off easily. Good strength. Pretty good magnetic strength here. You can hear the sound. Listen. Right? So you hear that. So you hear that sound there. So you know it's being attached. Pretty good. Will it fall off? No, I think it's gonna be good. I mean, you're moving around, walking around, not a big deal. It's good. Right? So let's try one more. Let's see what that looks like. Let's try 3. So we got 3. So now we're going to try 3 plaques, 3 wooden plaques, and let's see what that looks like. So we got the unit. Again, we make sure that we align it properly, and you can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear the sound, making sure it's attached. Now it does stick, as you can see. I'm not holding. However, I'm going to tell you right now, the traction is not really strong. It really is not. Meaning if I'm running, maybe just regular casually walking, and I stumble, this bad boy gonna fall off. I kid you not. I'm talking about with 3 wood plaques. It's just not gonna work, right? So let's measure that. Let's see, using our caliber, let's see exactly how much, what's the thickness of all that. Again, we got a caliber. We're gonna see that. And I'll see what that looks like here. All right, so we're gonna zero it out, and we're gonna take a measurement here. So again, it's that 5, 6 type of thing. It's, again, you can see that in that range. I don't know if you can see that here. I don't know if I'm holding it properly, but I'm just gonna let you know it's 6.08. you can see that in that range, it seems to be where it's most weakest. So let's take one of them off and see what it looks like with two. Because, two, that might be a number in life. I don't know. So with two, let's measure that. And that comes out to about 4. So you can see right away, right? So I can see that me personally, just doing this, by the way, it's got kind of scientific, kind of got a scale, you know what I'm saying? I will say, to be on the safe side, when you purchase this, right? If you decide to purchase, by the way, we're not being sponsored by them at all. We just doing this live. We pay for this out of our own pocket. I will say, based on what I'm just doing this a quick analysis of it. Again, we have obviously we got real test equipment to actually measure the magnetic strength. But in real life, we're talking about like real life situations. I would say that me personally, if I want to make sure this thing get a great strength attachment, I would say don't go no more than maybe 3 millimeters to be safe, to know that this is sticking on my clothing and it's just not falling off. Other than that, thicker than that, I would say get the clip, right? You can buy this with a clip too, right? And same thing like the booster pack, it comes, sticks on, not a big deal, but get it with the clip. Instead of getting a regular booster, get the clip. Now the clip obviously clips on, without saying. And that could be used for thicker clothing, bags and stuff like that. You want to put it on a bag, you want to put it on your hip or whatever it may be, right? That's the way to go. But you can see for yourself, it's very strong, very durable. It's the Humane AI Pin, and it works. At the end of the day, it works. Now, you may say, why spend so much time on this? Again, the reason is because you just spent a lot of money on it. That's why, right? You don't want to spend money on this and then it drops and falls, right? That's kind of crazy. It's a waste of money. Same thing with your cellular phone, right? When you buy your cellular phone, what do? You buy it with a case. Why? Because you want protection. So when it do fall, or if it falls, it's not going to just break on you. You don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone. I mean, phones go as high as maybe $1,500, $1,600 these days, right? It's kind of crazy, right? Same thing here, right? You got your protection. You got your shield. By the way, this is shield protection. This here, by the way, you got to buy separately. It doesn't come with this, but it's got to buy separately. You can also 3D print it. I 3D printed one, right? You can do that as well. With that being said, it's very good. It's going to stick to your clothes, not going to fall off. You can do your exercise routine. Yes, we had a little fun with we had fun with, of course, with the Bulletproof Vest and all. By the way, it's from Safe Life. Yeah, we had fun with that. But you're not going to put this to a vest, right? You're not going to put it to a solar panel. I just did that just to show you that it will, the strength of it and some scenarios and some funness with it. Again, this Humane AI Pin, this is Consumer Lab. Leave a comment below. One more thing I'm going to say before I go is that the Humane, what they did was, since the update, the 1.14 update, what they did was they made it so you do not have to unlock it constantly to ask it questions. That was a little, thing that I'm glad they did. They made it so I could just sit here and ask it generic questions, regular questions as if it was ChatGPT. Again, this does not just use ChatGPT. It uses other LLMs such as Gemini, etc., to give you the precise answers. Its device is like, just give you some background. And you can check out my past videos as well. It's like having a system with you 24 hours a day. That's basically what it is. So if I wanted to know something, I can just ask it some things. And we're going to do talk more about this at, next videos, other videos, I should say. But that's it for now. You know what? This is Consumer Lab. Subscribe. We'll talk.